And we're live. Hello, everybody. Good night, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. This is Jonathan, the passive income guy. We're doing today a live AMA with my friend and YouTuber, Crypto Questions. Um, every big shout out to the passive income community, the crypto question community that is online, and also a big growing community that is probably watching called Illuminati DeFi. So we're gonna do a live AMA with Crypto Questions. He has an impressive YouTube channel that has about 3.2 k subscribers now, at about 152 videos. And today we're gonna discuss basically his background, his favorite project and tips to find them, his view on the crypto and DeFi, his YouTube mission. If you have any questions during the AMA, drop them in the chat. We'll try to address them and go through them as we speak. And obviously, everything we're going to tell you is not financial advice. You have to do your own research. We're just there to educate yourself. So, just a quick background on crypto question. We're all like browsing on YouTube to find information about project, etc. And most of the time, we have a lot of YouTubers that are there to tell us about a project that is there, how to invest, what is the project about. But I really got caught with Crypto Questions YouTube because of his sense of details. He has a very visual mind, and I have a visual mind too, to understand how the protocol works, what are the tokenomics, illustrate them, and as well as like putting a lot of models in Google Sheet. And he loves to put the blue cells as the thing that you can edit, where normally the standard is yellow. It has to be yellow. And so it's so amazing YouTube, and it's one of the person that I really admire because of his ability to help us understand and break down protocol and not invest blindly. So, my friend Crypto Question, it's all yours. Can you introduce yourself to the audience and tell us where you're coming from?
Yeah, cool. So yeah, I like blue. I think it was because the person who taught me used blue and he never used yellow. So that's why I now use blue. But anyway, or the person who taught me how to build models really well. But anyway, so just a little bit about me. So I still work a day job, 9 to 5. I work from home, so that makes it easy for me to kind of keep an eye on crypto and on everything else. But I work in finance. That's what I got my master's degree in, is in finance. So I live and breathe in spreadsheets. That's kind of all I do. And I feel like that's like my only skill set. And so I always have just kind of done it for myself when I first got into crypto. And then after a little bit, I was like, hey, maybe people would like to know this stuff, or maybe they would want to like see it or use it too. So then I started just kind of spreading around in Telegram, kind of how to do that, or my spreadsheets in that way. And then I was like, this is probably better if I like went to the masses. And so I was like, maybe I'll try a YouTube channel. I'm not that good looking. I don't like getting ready in the morning. I don't like doing my hair or anything like that. And so I was like, I'm not going to put it on camera because I don't want to have to get ready every single time. And people want to see the spreadsheets. They don't want to look at me. So that's the main one of the many reasons why I don't usually do that, is just for that. But anyway, yeah, so
Nice.
That's what I love. I love building spreadsheets and I love building models. It's a weird, fun thing that I like to do. I recently learned that ESPN actually has like a competition, like a championship of Excel. I learned that like a week or two ago, and I was like, I want to do that. I want to try and do that. So anyway, yeah, that's a little bit about me. Just I love spreadsheets. I work from home. Crypto is not my full-time gig. I'd like it to be one day, maybe. It's hard for me not to give up my full-time gig just because I am passionate about what I do there. But nonetheless, I've got two passions: my work job and then crypto now.
So can we say you're the first ever financial planner that doesn't give financial advice?
Yeah, so I'm not technically a financial like planner. I'm more of a financial analyst. So
There you go.
financial planning and analysis, FP&A. That's kind of what I do. So I don't deal with stocks. I don't deal with any of that kind of stuff in my day job. I do. I forecast out revenue and expenses and costs for the company that I work at. So using history to try and predict the future, but very similar to a lot of other people do. But
Hopefully you can do the same thing with crypto, right? Would love to know that.
yes, that is the hope, to use the past to predict my future revenues.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's fantastic. Thanks for introducing yourself. So obviously we want to understand the link to crypto. And so can you tell us a little bit about what got you interested in crypto in the first place?
Yeah, so I originally started. Where did I originally start? I can't remember if me building my own mining rig or the helium, the HNT miner. I can't remember which one came first, but they were very, very close to each other. And so I kind of wanted to jump into that passion, or not passion, but jump into that. I like building things, and so I think that's where I originally built the first. I built a miner. I was originally doing Ethereum, but have since moved to Flux. So it's still up and running. It's still running. And so I'm still mining Flux on that. That one's going to take me like 2 years to like break even on that mining rig, because I bought at like the peak. And I had to buy on like StockX or whatever the heck that website is to get my GPUs. But yeah, and then I moved to HNT. And then after like that, I was kind of like, okay, now what? Like, I built it. Now what do I do? Like, I felt like I needed more, or I wanted more. And so then that's when I started getting into kind of just going down the YouTube rabbit holes that I do very often. Start going down that. I think the first video I saw was actually from Stunner Breezy about drip. And started learning about drip. And then a few other ones about, I lost my shirt in Metaverse Pro. I think we kind of talked about that. But yeah, Metaverse Pro is kind of at the tail end of that kind of season of those rebase tokens and all that kind of stuff. And that, I think that's what originally first, again, like I think it was up to like 500,000 APY. And I was like, oh my gosh, why isn't everyone in the world in here? I'm like, you can turn $1 into 500,000 instantly. But very quickly learned more about crypto. Again, I lost my shirt for the first like 4 or 5 projects because it was Metaverse Pro. And then I got into ring nodes. I got into ring nodes like on the second pump. So like I lost a bunch there. Then I got a strong block. I got into there and I thought I had made it, because I was like, I got a strong block node. I'm the coolest thing in the world, because it cost me like $3,000. And I think I got like $800 or $1,000 back out of that whole thing. So anyway, lost the bunch on that. And then kind of
so many trigger words. You're giving us all PTSD with those words, I think. Metaverse Pro, Olympus Dose, strong block. I was like, oh.
Yeah, and then I lived through a lot of the rugs. I had my first rug with a couple of things. So yeah, it was a tough kind of journey, and I've always been a person who kind of just sticks with it no matter what, and for better or for worse. And so just been plugging along ever since. Every day I try to make a video about something. But yeah, found drip, got into there, then kind of have followed some of the forks along the way and everything. And from then on, you kind of been able to follow my journey along YouTube of first getting in the animal farm. And that was when I first did videos. Was the first one was about the drip garden. And everyone was like, why are the price of plants going down? And I kept seeing that. And I was like, well, I could probably figure it out in a spreadsheet and then show everyone. And I got, for me, what I thought was really good traction. I think I had like 1,000 views in a few days, and I had like 30 subscribers. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have made it. I am a YouTuber. And so I just kind of went on from there. And again, I just, Animal Farm was like strictly my strategies, where it was kind of my go-to thing there for a long time until it paused. And then got into Elephant Money, got into EMP, got into a whole bunch of different projects again, like we can see on my channel. But that was kind of my journey of first getting into the miner, and then Yeah, even my helium miner, I like rigged a whole big antenna up in my attic. The miner's up in my oldest son's bedroom, and I needed to move a plug, so I had to rewire a whole bunch of electrical to put a plug up in his closet so I could get it up as high as I could. And anyway, that was fun. Like, it was, like I said, it was really fun building it and doing all that. And then after I was done, I was kind of like just sitting there looking at it, like, okay, now what? And it was literally like, that's all you're supposed to do, is just sit and look at it. But
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wanted more. I wanted more technical analysis.
yeah.
But anyway.
Oh, get it. Okay. No, really cool. It's interesting background. And so I guess, from your perspective, you got into all those miners and everything, but what is the thing that I guess got you interested in crypto, right? What is the thing that like dragged you to it?
I think same thing as probably a lot of people making money. Making money. When I originally got in, I thought, oh, I could turn $1,000 into $10,000 like overnight, and it still has that potential. There's a lot of projects where you potentially can do that, but you can also lose your shirt. So I think a lot of it for me is, again, using what I like to do with like Excel and building models and trying to, like, I guess, outsmart the game, some of the games, or just try to beat the game. Because that's what I feel like a lot of crypto was at the beginning, was, or at least when I kind of started, was like, can you beat the game of whatever the game is that they're doing? So anyway, yeah, it's still that. It's that building the models. Again, I love to build models. Not that I don't get enough of it in my day job, but sometimes the same thing over and over again sucks. And so I like the challenge of trying to learn new tokenomics and build all those things. Again, it sounds probably really dorky and nerdy, but it's something I enjoy doing. So that, and then being able to make some money doing a hobby. I enjoy woodworking. I like to build things, not like fancy, like little intricate woodworking or like really good inlays, but more like semi-rough rough carpentry. Like I built my own office, so I guess that kind of carpentry.
Oh,
Um, but so being able to, and that was a hobby, and I always loved it. But I'm like, I don't make any money, or I feel like I'm wasting my time with this hobby. And so having a hobby where I can make money and help other people understand the tokenomics, because a lot of these tokenomics are nuts and crazy, and I feel like people are jumping in things that they don't necessarily know what they're doing. And so being able to at least help other people while I'm helping myself down the path of crypto. So
yeah.
hopefully that makes sense.
No, that's great. Yeah, definitely. All of us want those juicy returns that are hundreds, or thousands of times more than what we can have in traditional finance. Definitely. Do you still, I guess, do you see a utility of some part of the crypto space, either DeFi or just other tokens, to solve real world problem?
Yeah, so some of them, yes. Others, no. I feel like they're simply just a little game to play, or they're just another way to invest, other than like the stock market or something like that. Because for the common person, the stock market is basically the only place where you can invest in money. And whether or not you do or don't believe, those can be manipulated and changed by bigger people, bigger hedge funds, bigger money. And so kind of growing up, the whole thing was always like, get a good job, or go to school, get an education, get a good job, and then put your money in a 401k and invest it. And then when you're 65, then you can retire and just live a normal-ish life. And that kind of never really like appealed to me. I'm like, well, I don't want to be at like 65 when I'm old and can't really like move around as much, then being able to have the time to go on vacations or spend more time with my family or whatever. It's like, I want to do it by the time I'm like 45 or something like that. I'm 35. 36. I'm 36 now. So I'm kind of rapidly approaching that time where I feel like I want to be able to kind of be done working for the man and working for myself.
Yeah.
But as far as kind of then going back to your question, so yeah, some of the things I think, yes, there are utility, or there are things that that have outside utility. I'm trying to think of, for the main thing, I was really thinking like with Ukraine and how like all the banks shut down, like with the war with Russia and Ukraine, or just banks shut down, or things in general, and people couldn't access things, access their money, or stuff like that. We learned about some people, like they lost their jobs or whatever, but they had Airbnbs. And so my wife and I we rented Airbnbs just to kind of give some money to people, even though there was no way for me to like physically give them money because they couldn't go to the bank and get it, but they could through Airbnb somehow.
Yeah.
But with crypto, all you need is literally an internet connection and a device that can interact with the internet. So whether that's your phone or a computer or something like that. So pretty much anyone everywhere could be able to access funds or that. So I think that part of crypto, as far as like certain tokens, that's still all up for debate, right? I mean, I'm very hopeful that elephant money will kind of revolutionize how everything is done within crypto. I don't think like a miner or like BNB miner, I don't think that's going to be taking over the world. Not to say you can't make money out of it, but I don't think it's going to become like our whole banking system and how that all is. But anyway, kind of lots of little side things I went down there, but hopefully I answered the question.
No, that's great. Yeah, no, it's absolutely, it's very good. So since you kind of like broke the mystery a little bit, and this is going to be juicy for the audience here, but what would you say are your top 5 projects and why?
Yeah, so every month I do my top 5 projects, and I recently did one in the month of September. So they haven't at least really changed in my mind. So for me, number 1 right now is elephant money. The main reason for that is just the math and the tokenomics behind it. Once you fully understand how the supply and demand of that works, of the protocol, you'll really understand kind of the power of it all. It's a deflationary token that is just continually being sucked up by the protocol. So the more it sucks up, then it's going to be able to then pay out later on to be able to get trunk back up to peg and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, for me, number 1 right now is elephant money. Again, just because of tokenomics and the math, I can physically see and touch how it's going to work. Where a lot of other projects, it's kind of a hope and pray, or hope they get more utility, or hope that something happens and they can just more people come in, right? Some of the Ponzi-nomics. Number 2 for me is MDB. Again, because of the tokenomics, they have. I don't want to compare elephant money and MDB, but they have similar-esque type things where it's deflationary. As tokens are bought and sold, they get fed into the treasury there. And then that treasury, what I think is really interesting and really cool is no matter what, the treasury is earning interest on other places, and then they're taking that interest and then going and buying other tokens and then burning it, which then just supply and demand, right? Slowly taking more of the supply out of the MDB token in general, which then again just makes price go up. So whether people are buying, selling, or doing nothing with MDB, there's going to be a floor price, and then the price is going to continue to go up. So I do truly believe that if you hold on to it long enough, whether that's 5 years, 10 years, 100 years, or whatever, that you can become a millionaire, again, just based on the tokenomics there. Number 3 for me is Furio. We kind of talked about this before we started, where I got in on pre-sale. And I'm not just saying that just because I got in pre-sale and I've done well and I've got a good vault going on. But just because of what they've all implemented and what they have coming down the line. So they have Horde's LMS system. They've got Fure Bot that they just talked about yesterday. So it's an actual bot. I believe I'm 99.99% sure that it's an actual bot going out, trading, and then returning those funds back into the LMS system. Kind of 2 sides of it. One side you can get in, one side you can't get in, and that's just where the LMS is. And then they got the casino and then sportsbook betting. So, I mean, they got a lot of stuff coming down the line that's then just going to bring more revenue in to maintain the price. So even if I didn't get in at the very beginning, I would get in there now with that. Let's see. What was my number 4? I'm trying to remember even what my other number 4, what my other projects are right now. Another one that's really, I think I did EMP Money, I think was another one. EMP money's slipping for me, even more so than when I last did the video. Mainly just because, so I've never been big on the fork or on the tomb fork side of it. I've always been on the detonator side, which is basically just an ROI DAP in there. But the amount of LPs in there has just been going down like 5, 6, 7, 800 LPs a day, and they can't seem to stop the bleeding. I don't know what they're doing behind the scenes. They're very innovative. I love AJ. AJ is a great guy. I've talked to him personally. I've chatted with him on I guess the phone, but through the internet or whatever. I've type chat with him. I mean, I've done a lot of personal interaction with AJ, and I think he's an awesome guy and love him. I know they're trying to do something, but when they tweaked the last change on the max depositor, I feel like that I don't know if that messed it up. Again, I've kind of said this on some of my videos. I don't know if it's that. I don't know if it's people losing interest in Ethereum. I don't know if it's people going over into the reactor. I don't know if it's a lot of things, or people just giving up on EMP in general. I don't know, but it's if they don't do anything soon, there won't be any more LPs left in there, and that's what you need with any ROI DAP. But yeah, EMP again, kind of slipping there for me a little bit. Horde, I think, is really awesome. I think that one I did as an honorable mention, but I think that's slowly coming up on my list, my top 5 again, just because they've been able to show that they can sustain what they're saying, and that their LMS system is continually increasing in value. I think they're up to like $1.5 million or something in there, or am I right? Maybe I'm not remembering that right, but they've been able to continually increase that. They've got the NFTs for the bot, like 20% of all that revenue is then going to be injected into the LMS system. So really cool there. They've also got the game. They've got a game coming out. So if you're big on that, we'll see how that goes. But those are the ones that I'm definitely very much keeping my eye on and watching as my top 5. Another one I'm not in, but yield nodes. I'm here. They've got a lot of really cool stuff coming down the line. The only reason why I haven't jumped into yield nodes yet is one, I mean, they have a 6-month lockup. That's not my main reason, but the other one is it's fairly stable at what is it, like 10% a month or something like that?
Yeah, last time it was 6%, and then they had some historical at 15% or 18% during the bull run. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's, and from my understanding, they're expanding into other things and all that kind of stuff. But again, it kind of goes back into a little bit of that. Like, I guess I still have a little bit of degen kind of in me, where I'm like, if I'm going to be spending, or if I'm going to be investing in something, like, I'm a big go big or go home kind of a deal here in crypto. So if I am going to tie up funds, it's going to be in something that maybe is going to 10x or 50x or 100x or whatever the case is. So that's kind of the game that I want to play there. But I do think I want to eventually get some in there. But I'm still just trying to build up my bag to where I feel comfortable enough to where I can then start pulling out more of a passive income. Wealth Mountain's up there again. We kind of talked about that, but you definitely got to watch what's going on with the TVL. You got to watch if there is a potential bank run. But I mean, you can get up to 5% in 50 days, and then 1% to 20, and then 1% every 10 days after that. And it all retroactive. So, I mean, if you make it past that, like 15, 17, 18 day mark, you're golden. So kind of the game that you got to play a little bit on that one. Is that one of the ones that's going to like take over the world? I don't think so. It could. I mean, they kind of got the treasury that I think their idea is sound, but anyway, kind of my top 5 and some of my honorable mentions, I guess there.
No, that's good. So a lot of people are going to be surprised that you didn't mention Drip or Animal Farms. Could you elaborate on this?
Yeah. So I think I had Drip actually as like my number 4 or 5 in there, and I should have said that. Animal Farm has got to kind of prove back to me again. I've got a bunch of money in dogs that are tied up in there. I think I sold off a bunch of my pigs just because I wanted to invest them elsewhere. And I was already doing a dog butcher strategy that I kind of created, where anything you invest, you put them in dogs, and then the dogs makes pigs, and then anything I was just selling my pigs instantly and then putting them right back into dogs. And so for me, I want to see how it all reacts. I mean, Forex is amazing at building suspense. I mean, that guy could win an Oscar with like being able to build suspense and build want for a product. I mean, he's done a great job of marketing it. But a lot of other people are very pissed off. There's a lot. You kind of got the both sides, and so I just want to see what happens. I want to see how that goes. With there. But yeah, drip was just an oversight on me. Just I'm bullish on it. I got in like November when it was like 25 or $30. That's when I kind of got the most of the drip that I got.
Oh wow.
And then I kind of DCA'd in, and I bought a bunch again when it was like 130. And then I should have been DCing on the way down. That's the more sound way of doing, but I haven't. I probably still could, but it's cool to see kind of they found a floor price. I mean, over the last month and a half, it's hovered around that like $7. So I mean, that's still pretty amazing to me. And so yeah, I'm still bullish on that, and that should have definitely been on my kind of what I said, my top 5 honorable mentions that I just was talking about.
Oh, cool. So we have a question from the people there. Matsushi says, "Are you concerned at all with the amount of drip sitting in wallets? Do you think the majority will be going into the farms?"
Yeah, farms meaning like into the animal farm, I'm guessing.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I'm not overly concerned about that. The one thing I am concerned about is just the amount of wallets that have a lot of drip in them. And we're increasing. I think we're getting like 50 to 100 new wallets every single day, which is good. It's just we've got to be paying all these like OG drippers, and like as that kind of cascade is coming down, we've got to continually be paying them until we finally can get there. And so that's my biggest concern is mainly just will it be able to hold out for as long as it can? It's been showing it for the last month and a half. I mean, they've got what, like 20 or how many maxed out wallets do they have? Like 200 now or something like that?
I have to pull the Dune dashboard. Yeah, I don't remember at the top of my head.
I mean, they've got a bunch of maxed out wallets, and so people have been able to pull out a ton of money. And be able to hold at a price there. And then just with the added utility with scratchies, again, they say it's done, but we kind of know how Forex is. I'm guessing maybe Q1 of next year when scratchies, that's kind of when I'm coming out, or at least in my mind. Again, I have no idea. I'm just kind of going off of whenever Forex says something in my mind, I triple it. And then it's usually pretty close. So once that gets going, once the farm is fully up and running, so yeah, I'm not overly concerned about the amount of drip in wallets that are going to be going into anywhere. I'm more just, I guess, worried about the amount of wallets that have a lot of drip in their faucet that they're going to be pulling out. Right. I guess that's more my concern. I don't know if that's one of the same type of question that they were kind of asking. So if it is, hopefully that made sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it's becoming, there's like more and more big wallets, right? If you look at the Dune dashboard. See if I can show it here.
Yeah, I mean, Stunnabrizi was like the original, like he was the first max depositor, right? And so you had all those people for the last like 8 months pumping into there, and he was able to cash out just fine and build other wallets, and same with Bartertown and whoever else, not necessarily naming names or trying to name names, but just as all those kind of original OG people, and so then. That's just kind of I guess the little bit of the Ponzi-nomics of it, right?
Yeah.
Of there.
Yeah. And hopefully with this whole loop and, pairing the drip with the BUSD, going into the farm, farming those pigs and then putting it on the pig pen, receiving all the tax of all this like fully functioning farms, maybe could help like support like a new price floor. I mean, that's the hope, right? With more demand. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'd love to see more drip go into places, because more drip going in means that it's being locked up. I mean, it did start going to be inflationary when I originally got in. I was like, 1 million tokens, like golden. But then they've started printing more just because they had to.
Right.
And so what are they up to? Like 1.3? How many million?
Oh no, it's over 2 million, I think.
Oh, over 2 million. Yeah, see, I haven't kept up on that one yet. So we're at 2 million. I mean, 2 million is still not that many. And so I'm not really overly concerned there. But yeah, if we can start locking them up, or
2.2, the exact number.
2.2. Yeah. So.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I agree. And they're keeping the floor price without an LMS, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, that's really cool how they've been able to kind of do that. And even Furio right now is doing it technically without. I mean, it's using the LMS to sit there and keep selling it, but I mean, it's been staying at that 550. It hasn't dipped below there to where the LMS has had to kick in. But yeah, I mean, where Drip has been able to do it without any of that, while like a huge function of the whole thing hasn't been up and running. I mean, kudos to the community and everything for maintaining and keeping that up. I mean, it wasn't fun when you had like $130 drip and then you're just watching it every day for like 3 months just go down more and more and more, watching your faucet just like tank. But being able to see it now kind of stabilize, and as you've been compounding, see it kind of start rising up again is a good sign, or is something that's fun to see.
Oh, good. Yeah, those are really good project, and I'm also in all of those except Furio actually. And I know we had a conversation, and I haven't looked this one close enough, but like I'm gonna do some study, I guess, on this. Like you're giving me like FOMO with the AMA, like crypto question. That's what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean they originally did it as like a 2.5%, then 2, and then kind of down, and they quickly realized that it was going to like get drained very quickly, because a couple of people who were really smart and figured it out, they all got together and they all pooled their money and then like made a wallet that was going to max out in like a month. And so they're like, oh crap, like I don't think that's good. And so there was kind of some bitterness within the community there for about a week. But I think everyone's now learning that like, hey, the devs aren't just like trying to, like, they're really trying to build something sustainable. And so I think there's still people who are mad or pissed off about it, but yeah, I'm excited for it. They're constantly making changes. I wouldn't say changes to the whole ecosystem, but more adding more utility and adding more revenue streams, which I'm excited for.
Okay, very good. All right, so thanks for all this. Those are really, really cool projects. So, with all those projects that you selected, and I know you and I we have similar kind of like actually top project, believe it or not, except Yield Nodes, and Optimus, like we discussed. What? How do you select which project to get into? What are you looking for?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I always kind of say, like in my videos, I first kind of look at the devs. Like, do I trust the devs? Have they created something before? Like, are they like known kind of ruggers or weird things like that? For the most part, I honestly don't trust like KYCs. I don't really even trust audits anymore, just because so many projects that I shouldn't say so many. I'd probably say like 5 to 6 projects I've gotten into that where things are KYC'd or audited or whatever the case is, and then there's an exploit or they rug or something, and I'm like, well, there's no point in any of these like audits or anything like that. And so I don't necessarily hold a ton of value. While it's still nice and good, it's not a deterrent of me if they're not KYC'd or audited or anything like that. Mainly, I just want to see the tokenomics. As I kind of feel like as I've gotten older in my crypto world, I'm not even a year old in crypto, but as you kind of mature, I guess, in there and understand things, the main thing I'm now looking more for in projects is strictly the tokenomics, and like especially with MDB, like make DeFi better. Right. I really love the whole deflationary aspect, and again, that's why Elephant Money is where I think you could 10 or 100x quicker. I think it can 10 or 100x quicker than MDB. But I still think MDB can 10 or 100x. It just depends on how the community kind of does things in both of them. But right now for me, the way that I'm looking at projects is just tokenomics of them.
Right.
Are there some that are straight like kind of Ponzi-nomics? Yeah, I mean we talked about that with Wealth Mountain, and Wealth Mountain is very transparent about that, and I actually really like that. That even in an AMA that I think it was with James Pelton that James even said like, is this like whole Ponzi-nomics until you can get the treasury? And the dev's like, yeah, like it's
Yeah.
Ponzi-nomics until we can get the dev or until we can get the treasury. And I liked that. I liked that about it. It wasn't trying to beat around the bush or anything like that. And so there's still plenty of money to be made in Ponzi-nomic type things. It's just you gotta know the game, and you gotta put in your risk capital in there. So again, and then with me, whenever I go into a project too, I mean, I have a bag, let's say 100% of that, probably only 10 or 20% is going into like straight degen stuff that it's like purely a gamble or purely me trying to play the whole game or try to do that. And then other things like MDB or Elephant Money, like, or Drip or Furio, those are things, or even, I mean, Horde, all of those things are now more, there's been more projects over the last like 2 weeks that I've gotten excited about than in like a very long time. And so it's crazy that I keep like forgetting, or not forgetting, but I keep trying to find money to get into these things. Yeah, the bots are kind of a new season coming out that I'm interested in.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are in stable fund. I honestly just don't believe they have a bot. That's again my opinion. You can differ from that. If you got in and you're able to get your money out and play the whole, if it's the whole Ponzi-nomics, hey, awesome, good for you. You took the risk, you've made it in there, and now you're playing with house money. But for me, I'm not jumping in there because I feel like I got in too late. But that's also another thing of how I kind of test the projects. Like, am I too late? Am I going to be just someone's exit liquidity? So that's also another thing that you got to kind of be looking out for in there is how long has the project been out? Am I getting in at the high? I've learned never ever get in at all-time highs. Wait for pullbacks or wait and see what kind of happens. And so that's kind of how I guess I get into projects. Look at the devs. Have they done anything in the past? Look at the tokenomics. I'm starting to really just want deflationary type tokenomics for where I'm investing long term. If they are Ponzi-nomics, look and see at what point in time am I getting in? Am I getting in at all-time highs? What's my risk to reward? If it only takes 10 or 15 days to get my money out, do I think it's going to last 10 or 15 days in order for me to get my money out? And then have different percentages of your total bag to go into either those high-risk degen plays or the medium or the long-term kind of plays. So kind of have your money spread out. So hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Actually, we have a couple of questions. We had a question about stable fund. I think you answered it. I do share the same concern with you. Not to go into too much of my history, but the founder created was Stable One, I believe, and there was a lot of problem, and there was like several iterations that didn't go well. People lost money. Yes, we were dropped some S rockets, but I agree. A bot that provides 1.5% seems like, I mean, if they knew how to do it, then everybody would do it, right? And most of the bots we've seen are doing like 20% or something. So Horde would have figured it out. Other protocol would have figured it out. So that's why I'm also very skeptical, about that too, personally. So we have another question also relative to Optimus. What do you think of Optimus?
Yeah, we've kind of talked about this before too. I'm mainly on the Binance Smart Chain, and so everything except for Ooze. For me, I'm in Ooze as well, is only on the Binance Smart Chain. So that's kind of my one thing. It really shouldn't be a big hiccup for me to go to another blockchain to like learn. I guess I'm always scared of learning a new blockchain of like how do I bridge it and how do I get it over? It always scared the crap out of me when I got into Ooze. And so now I have my process down. Like I have it all written down of how to get it in and out. And so now I'm not worried anymore. But like it was just so like scary of like I would sit there and test like $1 or sending $5 and then moving over. So that's one reason. It's over on, what is it on? Matic.
Yeah, it's on the Polygon network. That's which.
Polygon, yeah.
Hey,
So
you're gonna be
that's
happy.
one.
You're gonna be happy to hear that they came up with a wrap token and they're gonna go cross chain soon. So
I did kind of see that they were trying to get some cross chain stuff. So that's pretty cool. So that's one thing. Two, I've been trying to sit down and listen to how it all really works. And really, I probably should listen to your video because you break things down way better than a lot of other YouTubers. So I really need to watch your video. So one is I don't fully understand everything yet. And as I just want to understand things better. So that's another thing. But I mean, they've been showing, and I know that it's a rebase token, and I told myself I would never get into a rebase token, but I know that they've got some burn mechanics in there. Right. So I just need to understand it better.
Yeah.
But they've got a great chart. I mean, they've got $3 million in like a month and a half in liquidity there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely proving themselves as a project that's in there. So I really just need to sit down and actually break it all out. Probably more than likely, if I sit down and actually finally learn the tokenomics, I'll probably really enjoy it. And I feel like that's kind of what a lot of people with elephant money is. They don't understand it, so they immediately hate it, or they immediately don't want to do it, and they call it a scam, or they call it something else. That goes for anything in the world. When someone doesn't understand something, then they push it away and it's bad and it's no good and all that kind of stuff. And so I guess I'm doing a little bit of that right now with Optimus. Is I don't fully understand it, so I'm just kind of pushing away, but I need to understand it, especially as someone who does this on the side as a hobby. I think I need to break that all down for my own good and for other people. But it's something I wanted to investigate further, I guess, ultimately.
There you go. So. We'll expect more spreadsheets for this.
Yes.
All right. No, really cool. So other questions, we talked a lot about projects, the space is vast now. People that want to get in, let's say, if you had, I don't know, what's an acceptable amount, but $100, $500, or $1,000, like what would you do? Which project would you start, and which one would you pick up?
If I was brand new, I would. I guess this would go into different tiers. Like one, if I'm brand spanking new to crypto and I have no idea what I'm doing, I would either go Elephant Money or MDB. That would be like my two kind of plays. If I was kind of semi-new about crypto, I knew my way around like wallets and all that kind of stuff. And the reason why I say that with MDB and Elephant is you don't have to go in and interact with contracts. Like you don't have to go in and compound. You don't have to try to figure out how to get gas or BNB or other things like that to continually do that. And so for someone who's brand new, Elephant Money is awesome. Again, I love the tokenomics there. It's a long-term play. So buy some Elephant, hold on to it, get some reflections, and you don't have to do anything. You just have to sit there. Same with MDB. You can buy it, stake it, and you're just going to continually earn more MDB. And the deflationary tokenomics are going to take care of you from there. If you're kind of newer, but know your way around, you can get some BNB, you can get some, or I should just say gas. You can get some gas and all that kind of stuff. I'd say Furio. I really like Furio. Drip even. I would even go Drip in there. And then if you're pretty new to kind of, or I shouldn't say new, sorry. If you are kind of more of an expert and you know what you're doing, I'd still get into any one of those projects that I just mentioned. But you can even get into some of the degen plays, like I said, like Wealth Mountain. I think you can still make good money there. Again, you just got to watch yourself on when that TBL, if there is ever a bank run.
Yeah.
But again, it also then depends if you're going long term, kind of short term. Again, I'd love for Wealth Mountain to be a long term project. I have no idea. It could be gone tomorrow, or it could go on forever with the Treasury. But I do see Elephant Money and MDB being at least my kind of top ones if I'm new and I've got a $500 or $1,000 to jump into.
Awesome. And I know for those of you that are listening, Crypto Question, you have like a series called The Road to 10K a month, right? Where you started with $1,000 and then you're tracking which project are getting you this return, etc. So amazing series. I encourage everybody to check it out.
Yeah, that was it kind of came out from a couple of people asked me in my Telegram group almost the exact same kind of question. What would you do if you had $1,000? Or even some people said, like, how much are you making in passive income a day or a month or whatever the case is? And I was like, I think it'd be pretty cool for people to see. I think I'm going to do 5,000. I think that's kind of what I'm going to do. I think that's a good amount within crypto. But yeah, so I've got that in there. What am I in? I'm in Drip, Wealth Mountain, MDB, and Elephant. And so that's kind of where I'm at right now. And then we'll see. I think I've got 3,000 in there right now, so we'll see what I'm going to do with the other 2,000. But I'm have an inkling that it'll probably go either to Furio or potentially Horde or yeah, I think that's where my next money is going to probably go into, is one of those two, if not more. But
Got it.
anyway.
All right, we have some comments there. Champion Finance and Grizzly 5. This is coming from Bird Dog, the Crypto Ronin. I've never heard of this project personally. Have you?
Yeah, I don't know those ones. I don't know if they're a type of miner or something. I know that, like, I feel like the season of miners is coming back in to play again. The only miner I'm in right now is BNB Miner, solely just because so many people asked me all these questions about it and kept asking. I was like, all right, I'll make a video, try and build a spreadsheet, try and get into it and figure it out. But I mean, that thing's going on for like 500 days, and I feel like the third pump is going to start coming. It's kind of hit a floor, and it's now kind of maybe start creeping. So we may see a third pump with BNB Miner. But yeah, for the most part, I'm not in a lot of miners, just because I like the deflationary math better.
Yeah.
The tokenomics of those things. But yeah, I don't know those projects.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, really cool. And so, do you have like maybe some sort of a strategy how to invest, like relative to the capital you put in? When do you take it out? Do you let it run? Like, how do you?
Yeah. For me, like I said, I'm kind of shooting for the moon with all this crypto stuff. I'm still doing all my normal investments, like my 401k. I'm still doing my HSA. Like, I'm still doing all my normal investment stuff outside of crypto. This is literally just like fun play money that I'm hoping to turn into something where I can retire on, or pay off my house or something like that, right? And so for me, I'm just continually reinvesting. So every time I'm able to make money, usually for most things, I do a 6-1 kind of strategy. Any of the compound things. So I'm in a lot of ROI dApps. So compounding 6 times a day, or six days a week, and then withdrawing 1. And then I'll take that and then reinvest it in somewhere else that I'm excited for, or things like that. So I'm continually reinvesting. So that's my goal right now. Ultimately, to where I can get 10K a month. I think once I can start pulling out 10K a month, then I'll be kind of, I guess, happy with what I have accomplished in the crypto world. But then again, with that too, you got to maintain it and keep it up. So you got to then continually reinvest in other places, or kind of keep things up. But that's kind of how I'm taking funds, or taking money.
Got it.
Also, as if things are going down, that's my time to compound. Like for Drip, all I've done is compound for the last like 6 months. I'd say maybe 4 or 5 months. I've been withdrawing here and there when I'm in need of a project or something, but usually when it's going up is when I'm starting to take profits. Yep. Just because I don't know when it's going to come back down, or whatnot. But yeah, when things are going up is when I start claiming more often, or when I'm taking profits on there. When it's going down, that's when I'm more DCAing or accumulating more, or compounding.
Yeah. So have you taken like profits in fiat currency to pay for stuff in real life with crypto gains?
I did once, and it was mainly just to pay myself back because I took a loan out for myself.
Oh, nice!
And so
wow.
I needed, I didn't need. I wanted to get into a whitelist or something. I needed like $1,000. It was like $500 or $1,000 or something like that. And one of my Strong block. This was back when Strong was like expensive, and I think I had like 3 or 4 Strong, enough to get me like that $500 or $1,000. And so and it was going to come up in like a day or two. So I just ran the money through there, pulled it out of my bank account, and then I sent that 500 or 1,000 back to my bank. And that's the only time money has ever gone from crypto into fiat.
Yeah.
I haven't onboarded new fiat in a while. I'd probably say like 3 or 4 months.
Oh, wow.
And so it's all just been within crypto itself. I've been able to kind of keep it going.
Compounding. Yeah. Oh, that's really cool. So we have another question also. What's in your HODL bag?
Oh, my HODL bag?
Yeah.
So right now, elephant money. I'm just hodling that right now, holding on to that. MDB is in my HODL bag, and then all the ROI DApps.
Okay.
That's kind of a forced HODL, right?
There you go. Yeah.
You can't really take that out. So
HODL prison.
That's kind of. Yeah. But yeah, elephant. I'd say elephant is a big chunk of my bag. I've had some people try to say that that's the only reason why I am like promoting elephant is because I have most of my money in there and I want to see my money come out or whatever. But I think of it the total opposite. Like I've invested a lot of my money in there because I believe in the project and I believe what it's capable of doing. And that's the reason why I have a big chunk of my money in there. But I am also diversifying and getting it. Like I said, MDB is kind of my next thing that I'm now focusing on, continually trying to build my bag up to where I want it to be. And then still kind of buying. Like I said, I'm probably going to get some Furbots, NFTs. I'll probably get into the Horde NFT for the bot there. Yep. Maybe get a plot. I don't know. But yeah, those kind of my HODL, elephant money, MDB. That's kind of my main things that I'm trying to gather up as much as I can.
Do you HODL any blue chips coin like Bitcoin, Ethereum?
I don't. And the reason for that is especially with Bitcoin is just the growth potential, right? If it gets back to all-time highs, what was all-time high? 60,000?
Yeah, 60.
So let's say it goes up to 100,000. So right now it's at 20,000 and it goes up to 100,000. That's only a 5x on my money, right?
Yeah.
Whereas with something like elephant money or MDB, I can get 5x potentially in a month. Or if in the next bull run, I mean, I could go up to 10, 50, 100x. It's just my growth potential is so much more with elephant money and MDB that's why I'm putting my money into there rather than into blue chip. So a riskier side, yeah. I mean, I have no problem with people hodling Bitcoin or Ethereum. It's just I'm shooting for the moon, and if I'm gonna put money in there, that's my thought process of all of that is just the growth potential is higher in other things other than just Bitcoin and Ethereum. So hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah. So I know we only have 5 minutes for you, but like there's a couple of comments relative to elephant money. I got wrecked twice from BT, never again. I have 10K in trunk that I will never get back. What do you think of that? Yeah,
so I totally understand the whole trunk side of things. A lot of time that's been brought up a lot. It's been answered a whole lot. When I originally got in, I went very heavy in trunk because that's what everyone was told to do, right? 80% trunk, 20% elephant, and let the elephant be your moon coin. So I went heavy in trunk, and it's down significantly, right?
Yeah.
But you got to look at the way that I'm looking at it is, let's say the project or after the exploit and everything, and then BT just stepped back and was like, all right, peace, let's go try out. We'll make a new elephant money. We'll make donkey coin or something like that. I don't know, whatever the heck other one that he was going to maybe make. He could have just left everyone in the dust and then we were all screwed. At least with this, where he's trying to now fix the problem, trying to continually update it, make changes, and the changes to get Bertha back up and running. I know that's not a popular thing of saying, okay, now I know you invested money and it's down. Now you got to invest more in order for us to get back to where we are. But with the tokenomics of getting Bertha back up, once she's up and running and able to then go and buy all that cheap trunk, we'll get back to Peg. And then everyone can get out from there. If you wanted to get out, we can get out of there. But I would much rather have a dev or a project where they're trying to fix the problem and trying to update it, which I think they have. I think we've plugged all the holes. Now we've just got to bail the water out and then get it floating more. And it is continually getting higher and higher every day. Bertha is getting fed. But I'd much rather have a dev that is trying to fix the problem and right the wrong than just step back and be like, all right, peace. I'm going to go start another one and start all over. Everyone who got in there, you got wrecked. Sorry. At least with this, you've got a chance. You got a fighting chance.
Oh, are you there?
Hear me now?
Oh, there we go. We can hear you now.
There we go.
Whoa.
I'm sorry.
All right. Oh, no problem. Are you okay? So we were scared that BT heard our conversation and took you away.
BT came and got me. He came and stole me away. No. Hopefully, I think I got my point across of what I was saying, because I think I heard like 2 words of yours, so I think I got everything away. But
Yep.
Let me know if any of my comments didn't go all the way through.
Yeah, I think we're good. Okay, I know that like you're almost.
I'm okay on time. I'm good on time.
Okay, good.
I worked out some things here with my wife, so yeah, we're good.
Okay, good. So yeah, just to catch up on what we said. Yeah, so we were talking about elephant money, and so a couple like final question for you with your YouTube channel, that aspect of you. So I guess, can you elaborate on where does Crypto Questions and your logo come from? Like, how do you come up with it?
Yeah, so it was mainly I forget the term where there are 2 words that sound the same. What are those things called? It's not an idiom. Is it called an idiom? Idiom.
Oh,
idiom.
Oh, you mean an emoji?
A group of words using and having a meaning. Oh no, that's something totally different. What did you say it was?
No, like an emoji or symbol or something.
No, there's a word for it when like you have like 2 words that sound like a k, or you have 3 words. I don't know what it's called.
Oh yeah.
What?
Is it like a palindrome? No.
Is that what it is?
I don't know. A word or phrase that reads the same backwards as forward.
Oh no, that's not what it is. Let's see. I don't know. I'll think of it when I'm going. But yeah, so Crypto Questions, it just kind of sounds good, like Crypto Questions or my weekly review or something like that, where they kind of they just sound nice together. And so yeah, I wanted to be into
homonym.
Crypto.
Someone said homonym.
Homonym.
Thank you.
Yeah, homonym. Homonym.
A cacophony.
That's a funny word.
No, that's not it.
Yeah, so that's what I like those. I like it when poets do it, or when people who are giving speeches kind of do it. So anyway, I wanted it to be generic enough that I wasn't like pigeonholed into something, because when I first did it, it was all about Animal Farm and drip. And so I didn't want to be pigeonholed of someone thinking, oh, all I know or all I do is just that one crypto thing. So I wanted to be kind of generic enough. And so Crypto Questions, I thought that was pretty simple. I was like, oh, I'm answering questions about crypto. And so there was that. And then just the symbol was just a C. And then like a question mark has a period or a dot underneath it. So I put that right smack that in the middle. I wanted a really simple, basic logo where if someone saw it, they kind of knew. The colors, honestly, it was just the first colors when I kind of was using the tool to make it. That's what spit out kind of that blue and teal. And I was like, hey, go for it. Let's do it. So it's not like I'm like a Tar Heels fan, or it wasn't like my high school, like school colors or college school colors or anything. It was just kind of
a good use of Microsoft Paint, we'll say.
Yeah. Something like that. But yeah, so that's where it kind of came from. Again, just super basic, and then just wanted something where if someone saw it, they'd maybe kind of recognize it pretty quickly. And then yeah, just Crypto Questions was pretty basic and easy. And it wasn't taken by YouTube yet. as a username. So that was good.
That's right. Yeah, that's very good. That's great. Okay, and yeah, I think we touched base on this. The reason that you want to, you're doing like faceless video, so we're gonna skip that. But any before we wrap up there, do you have any, I guess, favorite influencers slash YouTubers that like you follow regularly or that you enjoy watching?
Yeah. So one is, I mean, James Pelton. I feel like he gets a lot. I mean, he's one of the bigger influences kind of in our genre. And I look to him as kind of as new things are coming out, because I feel like he gets hit up before a lot of maybe other people or before the projects even come out. So it's good to know kind of information. Do I get in everything he says? No. But I feel like he does a great job doing AMAs, asking questions, things that I would have questions about and trying to fully understand. So I like listening to him and listening to his things. SK Crypto K, I think he does a great job of what he does. He does. I enjoy kind of the
two voices,
the back and forth. Yeah, the voices kind of going back and forth with himself. So he does a really good job of kind of the theatrics or the kind of the whole thing. Where mine, it's all one take. I can make a mistake and I just am like, oh, sorry, forget what I said 10 minutes ago about this, or I'm not that good at video editing or anything like that. So I kind of try to stick to my strengths of just the spreadsheets. But yeah, SK Crypto K. I liked Into Crypto. He had some good stuff about elephant money. He hasn't put anything out in a while. I know he got super busy. DeFi Dude, I like listening to him. Again, I like listening to him, but the whole optimist thing, I need to.
That's your homework, my friend. Like, it's your homework.
Yeah. Who else? My friend Andy. He was actually one of the first ones that I kind of was watching. My friend Andy. I think he's kind of cool.
Yep.
Not really in the in the DeFi space as much. I mean, he is. I mean, he gets into that, but I mean, there's kind of multiple things that he does. Who else?
Oh, I think you like also Crypto Mischief, right?
Yeah, Crypto Mischief. He's definitely way more in the degen side of things. So I look to him to understand the degen plays for that. So yeah, I do listen to him. Again, just like any YouTuber or anything like that, even for myself, I'll say this. I mean, we're just there to try to give information as well as they can. You don't just jump into everything that they say and trust. That's kind of what my fear is someone just trusts what I say and then they just get into something without realizing it or understanding it. And so it truly is just there to be one more source of possible information to maybe explain something a little bit better, or the spreadsheet maybe hopefully explains something a little bit better. But again, with any of them, just use them as sources of information. Don't just blindly get into everything, because I guarantee a big chunk of everything that James Pelton is he's getting paid to do it. No knock on him. Great. Hey, good job. Great for getting some of that money. But does that mean that he believes in the project or that he wants to, or he's personally getting into it? Probably not. But that's his job. That's his job now, is to be a YouTuber and to bring out all these things. So again, just understand that and know that. Drip Farm, I do listen to him. He's pretty entertaining. Jonathan over there. Again, more on the entertainment side and some of the AMA sides of that. So I do watch him a little bit, but
cool.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Good set of people. All right, and so do you have any? We're entering the final phase there, but like any closing comments or message you want to tell the viewers here?
No, just thanks for having me. I've thoroughly enjoyed this. I like answering people's questions. If there's more questions, I'm more than happy to answer them to the best of my ability. It's always, I don't know if it's flattering. Am I maybe putting too much on myself of like saying I like answering when someone has a question about something, or I'm able to answer someone's question? But no, I'm happy to answer more.
Oh, really cool. And then the way to find out about you, you have a Telegram, I believe. channel, and then that's it
Yeah.
in terms of social media, right?
Yep. Yeah. So I've got a Telegram. I started TikTok. So I did get into TikTok. I started doing shorts just because I felt like I was getting not static, but I just needed to broaden my horizon or broaden out maybe the world of crypto to more people. And so I started doing shorts, and shorts are great because they can go across multiple platforms very easily. So I was able to do YouTube shorts and TikToks. I started a Twitter account, but I haven't done anything on there. But yeah, mainly Telegram, YouTube, a little bit of TikTok. You can find all that on my YouTube channel, or that's the best way. I always say go to YouTube channel, go to my master link sheet that has all the links to everything everywhere for all the different projects, or for my Telegram group, or whatever the case is. Just because you start searching in Telegram, and who knows what you can find of scams, and you kind of made it as someone when people start pretending to be you to try to scam someone. I guess that's a bad way of doing it, but I've had a couple of people be like, "Hey, did you need some money or something?" I was like, "No, like, what are you talking about?" And you're like, "Oh, someone pretended to be you and say that they needed some gas fees for something and they needed like $100." And I was like, "Oh, I guess I made it when people are now trying to be me, pretend to be me."
Yeah, no, for sure. It could be a dangerous place.
Yeah.
All right, but it was a pleasure having you, Shane. I think you provided a lot of value, like to our viewers there, and for everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed the exchange. Go definitely check out Crypto Questions Telegram and YouTube channel. It's full of like amazing value if you like to understand protocol, how they're broken down. If you love spreadsheets and Google Sheets as much as I do too, and also try to give him some love so that he can get a Discord account, because you don't have this, and this is a shame, man. In the world of crypto, not having a Discord account, it's like no, it's not wanting to jump on internet at the beginning. And by the way, also there's a great one-stop shop for all the actually YouTubers, top holders, investor, and dev that is like picking up a lot of steam right now. It's called Illuminati DeFi, and so I'll also encourage you guys to check it out, and would love to have you there also, Shane. I think it's a great place to start exchanging with other YouTubers and holders and investors. So.
Cool.
But yeah,
I'll have to check it out.
Hey, thank you so much for your time, Shane, and we'll talk to you soon. And for everybody, have a good night, have a good day, have a good morning. Thanks, everybody. Bye.